So I was recently asked on a forum about CNCs, how do I make sure that the top and bottom red stripe are of equal size to all the others on the flag? After measuring mine carefully, I noticed that they were off a bit. So I wanted to fix it, make it accurate to the real United States flag, and thought I would share how it's done so you can do it yourself, or if you like, come to my website and grab the file for yourself. So let's get started. We'll start by going to Wikipedia and looking for the flag of the United States. And you'll see on the right hand side that there's a picture of the flag. And if you go to the download link in the bottom right, you'll notice that it is an SVG, Scalable Vector Graphics. That's the art format that you need for Carbide Create. So once we have the download, we'll open it in our editing program. I'm using Affinity Designer. And if you look, you can see that there are stars as a group, the blue field as a group, and the white stripes as a group. But if you look, the white stripes are actually lines that have a wide stroke to them. So we'll go to Layer, Expand Stroke, and now there are actually shapes within the file. That's what you need. So we'll export it as an SVG. And I'm just going to rename it so we don't save over the original. I'll add export to the name. Next, we'll go into Carbide Create and create a new file. So we want to leave the width wide right now because we'll set the aspect ratio to the size of the flag. The height of the board is 11 1/4 inches and it's 3/4 inches tall, and we are using pine. So everything is good, and that sets up our file for the flag. So now we'll import the SVG, the one that we fixed in Affinity Designer. We'll group everything so that we can scale it up to the size of our board. So we'll just set the height to 11 1/4 inches. The width will adjust automatically, and then we'll hit apply. Now we'll zoom out a bit and move it so that it's at our board. Reset the view, and selecting it and hitting scale lets you see the width, which is 21.375 inches. So now let's go back to our job setup and set the board to 21.375 inches to match. Now our artwork fits our board perfectly. We'll ungroup it and delete the lines that go down the center of the white stripes. These were left over by Designer. And now what we have is the art that we're going to actually cut. But you'll see that the white line actually continues behind the blue stripe. So we'll have to fix it for these three. We'll take the field and we'll duplicate it by hitting copy or Command C, and again, so that we have multiple copies. And then we'll select the white stripe and then I didn't select both. Select the white stripe and then the blue field and Boolean subtract. The white stripe and the blue field subtract. And we'll do it one last time. And we have what we want, but I did undo so that we keep the blue field. So I made an extra copy, select the white stripe and the blue field, subtract, and now we have 3 short white stripes and 3 long white stripes. We're going to now make a shape that is the size of our board. So it's 21.375 by 11 1/4. Now the next step is to align it to stock so it's centered. Now that shape matches the outline of our board precisely. We're going to move it in. I like to do 1/8 of an inch. You can do however much you like. Now that is where the white stripes will stop at the outside edge of the board. But we need to duplicate this stripe like we did the blue field. So we'll make some copies and move them back in place. Doing this a few times. We need one per each white stripe. Because when you do the Boolean operation, it gets rid of the original during the operation. So we take the white stripe and the outline, and we do Boolean union. That will leave us with the part that is common between the two, the area in which they both exist. So we do this repeatedly until we've hit all of the white stripes. It looks like it's not doing it, but that's because remember, we have extra copies of that outline. Oh, I need one more, so let me make a copy here, one more. We Boolean those together, and now this is the last set, and you can see that we now have the 6 white stripes that do not extend all the way to the edge. They are inset by 1/8 of an inch, or whatever value you used on your flag. Now let's work on the stars. If you'll see, these stars are just lines, and what we need are actual star shapes. And unfortunately, we cannot snap to anything except for the endpoints. So we're going to draw a construction line by zooming in really, really far and clicking at that intersection. Now we'll reset the view so we can see everything again and zoom back in. And we can snap to the ends of the star and to the end of that line. We'll make kind of an arrowhead shape. And we know that those points are exact. So now we have this triangular shape, and you can see we can only snap to that one node, not the other intersections. So we make a copy and we rotate it 360 degrees divided by 5, which is 72. So we rotate it by 72 degrees. We want to move it to the end of the star, and we're going to do it again. So we're going to take that and rotate it 72 degrees, and we're going to move it to the tip of the star. Now if we add those pieces together, we can get a complete star. And delete the original in the center. Voila, one star that's ready for cutting out. So we're going to populate this across the union by simply making copies and dragging to the other stars. You need to be very careful that you exactly snap onto the star. And then you need to delete the graphics that came in with the SVG. Now that we have a single row done, we'll select that row, copy, and move it down to the next one. Get rid of our extra star and delete the vector lines. And now we can do 2 rows. Move it where it belongs, and delete the original vector stars, leaving only our new shapes in place. So let's select all 4 rows, make a copy, move them where they belong, and delete the graphics. Now I've sped up the video, deleting all the original stars, leaving only the new stars in their place. And we have one last row, so we'll select another row, make a copy, move it into place, and again, delete the original stars. And there you have it. We have a field of 50 stars. We'll group them. And we have the original blue Union, and we actually don't need that, so we'll delete it. We'll select the 6 white stripes and group them, and now you have a flag with the correct proportions. Let's save it. I've already saved it earlier in this video that you didn't see, but now we have a file that is ready for cutting. But let's go ahead and do some toolpaths, and I'll show you how I do mine. So if we go back to the Design tab, we can select Groups. So we'll select the stripes and choose Toolpath, Contour, and Pocket. Now we'll pick the end mill that we want to use, and we want to use a flat end mill. I use the number 102 from Carbide 3D. So these are the default feeds and speeds. You can set the depth to your liking, and I am very specific when I name my tool paths. I like to give them a number, a name, followed by the end mill or bit that I'm using. So now we'll go back to Design, select the stars. We're going to V-cut these, so we'll choose the 60-degree V-bit, number 302. And then we'll give them a name as well. This is the second toolpath, stars V302. Having a standard for naming my toolpaths helps me stay organized. So here I'm just reviewing my feeds and speeds. Of course, you can go over the depth per cut and make modifications as you see fit, balancing quality of cut versus speed or time that it takes to cut out a job. So there you go. In this simple tutorial, we made a flag that adheres to the aspect ratio and scale size of the official United States flag. This file should be a great starter for anyone looking to make their own custom flags. These files are available absolutely free on my website, boxcrafted.com. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what other type of tutorials you would like to see. Thanks for watching.